Hey folks, it's Jeremy again with ExcellenceInElderCare.com. Welcome to the second part of Long-Term Care Simplified. Today we're going to be discussing what your long-term care options are. In part 1 of this series, we spoke about the basics of what long-term care is and when its services take in effect within the grand scheme of healthcare. If you'll remember, long-term care takes into effect after an acute event takes away your loved one's ability to function by themselves. And the goal of long-term care is to help them to function where they are now, and secondly, to help them to function where they were before something bad happened. It's highly imperative to know your different options so as not to waste your resources in a well-meaning effort to care for your loved ones. That's why we're in part 2. Now that we know what long-term care is and when seniors can benefit from it, it's time to discover your different options. So, what are my different long-term care options? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. There are 4 major long-term care options that are available to serve the elderly. These options can be divided according to the housing options that they provide. They can also be divided according to the services that they provide. Okay, instead of just trying to add more confusion to long-term care, let's just name these options outright. Alright, the 4 options are nursing homes, home health care, assisted living, and adult daycare services. Now, I'm just going to give you a brief description of each one. Okay, a nursing home goes by many different names, depending on which part of the country you're from and also their function. They may be called skilled nursing facilities, rehabilitation homes, or rehabilitation centers. They may be called convalescent homes or the infamous old folks home. Whatever the name they go by, this is what nursing homes are. They're a type of long-term care residential care. Basically, the elderly person moves into them in exchange for 24-hour oversight and protection for medical care and non-medical care services. A home health care agency is a form of long-term care that allows sick and disabled seniors to be cared for in their own home. Now, home health care agencies may provide medical and those custodial services. And if you'll remember, those custodial services are services like they have nothing to do with medical at all. They're things like housekeeping and activities of daily living like bathing and dressing and cooking, those types of things. Now, an assisted living facility, it's sort of a middle ground between a nursing home and a home health care service. It's like a nursing home because it's residential. The elderly person leaves their home to move into one of these. And they typically provide apartments or bungalows or cottages, something like that. And they resemble home health in the fact that they provide special care services to the elderly, that they're mostly independent. They can get up and they can move around just like an elderly person would in home health when they're being cared for. They don't need 24-hour oversight and protection and someone with them all the time and someone overseeing everything that happens. So that's how assisted living facilities are kind of the middle ground. And an adult daycare, it's a type of service that provides oversight and it provides care for mostly independent seniors. And they can provide family caregivers like you with 8-10 hours of respite every day so that you can continue to focus on the other areas of your life like a career or other people in your family or running errands or hobbies, things like that. Me time. Those things that are important as caregivers so you don't experience burnout. This type of special care service, it's ideal for those elderly people, those loved ones that are being cared for in their home by their family. It's important that you fully understand your long-term care options before you lock yourself into a situation that is less than desirable, because here's what happens. It may look good now, but there might be a price to pay that you are not willing to pay down the road. You might lock yourself into an option where you are paying way more than you need to be paying for long-term care. You may lock yourself into an option where you are having to provide way more responsibility than you ever wanted to. You may lock yourself into an option where you're not involved at all and you feel like you've abandoned your loved one. So it's important that you fully understand all of your options before you have to pay a price down the road that you're not willing to pay. Okay, now I want to see you in part 3 as we explore how to determine which services are needed and which are available. I know that says part 2 up there, but that's just a glitch on my part. Excuse me for that. But I want to see you in part 3, and I'm going to start showing you how to compare the different services and to make the best available decision for you and your loved one. Okay, and again, you can stop by the website excellenceineldercare.com to receive more information, and you can sign up for our free mailing list to receive free tips and other resources to help you in your search for the best long-term care option. Again, this is Jeremy with excellenceineldercare.com, and I am wishing you the very, very, very best long-term care experience. Thanks, and have a great day, guys.